Welcome everybody to another Monday Mindfulness Meditation. Hi Ruthie, smiling face, great to see you. Thank you all so much for coming. It's just a joy and a gift to me, but to be together and to be able to be together and cultivate the practice in this way, in a simple way. So just curious, it seems like maybe there are a few of you who are new here. Is that so? If I'm seeing you, you can go like this if you're new, or if you, yep, okay. So we've been meeting, well, I've been doing this for many, many years, but we've been meeting this whole last year to practice mindfulness together in the face of all of the unraveling that's happening in our world. And so what we do is come together as if we're entering a temple and, take our seat and be able to let go of everything else that is going on in our lives. Even though we're in the comfort of our own homes, we're still taking this time out to cultivate a very sacred practice that has the potential to awaken us and contribute to a better world. And so to really bring ourselves fully present into this moment, into this circle, and let go of the distractions, really set ourselves up so that we can be fully present. And then we for the practice itself, which we will do after a little Dharma talk, we use the breath as the anchor for the mind, to rest our attention on the breath and to really just focus and concentrate on the in-breath and the out-breath. This is the basic practice of mindfulness, to be mindful of the breath as it is coming and going, connecting the body, our embodied experience, and the mind, which tends to wander off in a million directions. And so when we can bring ourselves into the moment and rest our awareness consciously, mindfully on the breath, then the mind can come into a place of stillness, a place of calm abiding, where we're not just habitually driven by all of the thoughts and the feelings and everything that operates most of the time unconsciously. And so that is the practice, is to really rest awareness on the breath and use it as a tool, which is with us every moment of our lives, to connect with something so much larger than ourselves. And so we sit for about 20 minutes, and we then do about a 10-minute walking meditation, which is another way of practicing mindfulness and working with the breath through coordinating our steps, slow walking in this case, taking one step and breathing in, and another step and breathing out, and just walking without, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, without arriving. We're not trying to get anywhere. We're just walking with the awareness of the feet on the ground. What is happening all around us that we miss so much of the time because we're so distracted. We're so much thinking about the future or worrying about it, or the past, the feelings, all of that takes us out of being right here, right now. So I'm happy to answer any questions at all about the practice after we do it. But for today, I wanted to focus a little bit on the topic of joy, and just underline how important it is. These times are heavy. right? They're difficult. We're all dealing with a lot of challenges, but we cannot let ourselves forget about how important it is to cultivate joy and see the beauty, realize and recognize the beauty that's all around us. And the reason for that, apart from it just being fun and important, is because if we're on this path of practicing mindfulness to awaken, to transform, we need some really good energy to do that work, because the work of transformation is not always easy, is it? Nod, yes, no. No, it's not always easy, because we come up against our shit. We come up against each other's shit. We come up against all that shitty stuff in the world. And we see what, we want to change. But if we don't have the energy at, the resources within us, we'll just keep going around and around and around. And we're not going to get anywhere. And we all know what that is like, don't we? Yes. So I wanted to read Thich Nhat Hanh. He has these precepts or mindfulness trainings. When I first met Thich Nhat Hanh in the 1980s, they were called precepts, and then they changed the name to mindfulness trainings because they were a little bit too much like commandments. But I still love the way that the language was back then. So it's very simple. And here's the 7th precept. It says, do not lose yourself in dispersion and in your surroundings. Practice mindful breathing to come back to what is happening in the present moment. Be in touch with what is wondrous, refreshing, and healing, both inside and around you. Plant seeds of joy, peace, and understanding in yourself in order to facilitate the work of transformation in the depths of your consciousness. So he's saying that that work of transformation that happens down there in the depths needs the beauty and the joy in order to happen. Otherwise, we get so bogged down. So part of the practice, which is a word we use a lot because the meditation is a practice, the breathing is a practice. We're training ourselves in these practices. Part of the practice is to notice the beauty. Notice what's going on that is bringing us joy. And to plant those seeds in us and around us. Now, in meditation, we're cultivating awareness. That's really what we're doing. The main point is cultivating awareness. We generate this awareness, and that awareness is the energy of transformation. We wonder how it can possibly happen that we could transform. We can transform because we're building this energy of transformation through our awareness. And we need to have this energy that we can draw from in order to make the changes in our lives. And so meditating, it's sort of like, building a muscle. You have to train. And they say, and I think maybe Liza Jane, you could probably speak to this too, that our consciousness is like a big storeroom. And it's filled with all kinds of seeds. And those seeds are our habits and our conditioning and all kinds of seeds. The seeds that we plant also through our practice and through our acts of generosity and kindness. So you can imagine this storehouse filled with seeds, and a lot of those seeds are very unconscious. But when we practice to cultivate awareness, we're becoming aware of all that is. We're coming aware of what's happening as it's happening. We're also, if we're lucky, we're becoming aware of that pure state of awareness itself that is unconditioned. Without labeling or interpreting it, we're just being right here and resting in that state of being. And in that place, there's nothing to do. But that is a place where magic can happen, because that is the place where the real energy of transformation is taking root or seeding itself in us. And when we smell the rose or notice the blue sky, there's like that opening into that place. And we're home within. We're home within all this. And when we can let the beauty in and feel the joy that is all around us all the time, and give that to ourselves and to the world, and train to come back to it over and over and over again, we are supporting ourselves in this process and giving the energy to the difficult work without, like so much of the time we sort of like pound away at it, how hard it is. We want to, we got to do that. And there's definitely something to be said for applying ourselves to the work of transformation. It doesn't happen all by itself. But when we're caught up in our sorrows and our depression, we lose energy. We all know this too, right? How it's like a drain. And so again, we come back to this word practice, because it's not to say we want to bypass the truth of what that is, but we want to give ourselves an experience that brings it into balance, and to, yes, we grieve for the loss of life, but we balance it with the joy and the beauty that is in life. And we remember, sometimes some things take time, but to live a meaningful life and not be consumed, we find the flowers, we appreciate the trees, our animals, our loved ones, our children. We notice the light as it's coming into the room, the pink clouds at sunset or sunrise, the full moon. And don't, sacrifice that too quickly, as if it's not really so important, because it is so important. Thich Nhat Hanh says the miracle is not to walk on water. The miracle is to walk on earth. So he's again, inviting us and saying that the miracle is really to be fully present as we walk on this beautiful blue-green planet we call home. This is the miracle, and we miss it We miss it so much of the time. So walking meditation is another practice that is a way to feed that store consciousness where the seeds are with refreshing and beautiful, nourishing seeds. And to, for the time that we're here in the meditation, the sitting and the walking, we make it a practice to set aside our worries, our lists of things to do, and enter the present moment and place our feet on the ground and feel that miracle of life. Be aware of what a miracle this is, that we're even here. Notice the blue sky, notice the bird songs, the daffodils that bloom in the spring and the new grasses that come up. The leaves turning in the fall, dropping to the ground. What an incredible, miraculous world we're so lucky to be living in. And so we nourish ourselves in this way, the same way we would maybe when we make a meal in mindfulness, we cook something really delicious for ourselves, which I know is often not done because we don't feel like it. If it's just us all on our own, maybe we do it for another, but either way, for ourselves or another, nourishing ourselves with what's good, arranging some flowers, art, music, so many ways we can nourish those seeds and take joy in the face of even the most difficult circumstances. It's giving us energy. It's giving us the energy for healing. It's giving us the energy for transformation. And we don't have to do anything. And we shouldn't, in terms of the process of transformation, except show up for it. Create the conditions for it to happen. You can't expect the transformation to come like that. It has to take root, just like those seeds. But if it's taking root in an environment that's filled with shitty stuff, then what's going to grow? But if it's taking root in an environment that is fragrant with possibility and uplifting, energy of life, then there's all kinds of things that can happen. And that too is a miracle. So we want to plant those seeds. We want to consciously plant those seeds to balance out all the other seeds. It's like weeds in the garden. A lot of what's in there are like lots of weeds. But when those other plants get stronger, the weeds tend to die away. And the process of transformation becomes something that is really, really quite effortless once we really put ourselves on this path. And with the next breath, an insight can come, an awareness can come of what is really so, what is so. I think it's that human issue of trying so hard and pushing so hard, we get in our own way. When we look to nature, it sort of just happens naturally, right? So let's try to align ourselves in the way that Mother Nature would operate. She is operating in us. So as I was kind of preparing my thoughts, I wrote down, joy and beauty are renewable resources. That just sort of came to me. And it's like they give and they give. They renew us and they restore us. And they're always available. Even though when we're down, we can't find them. It's hard to find them. You know, like, where did that go? Where did that energy go? So we just slowly, slowly come back over and over again, come back to the present moment, you know, come back to the breath, come back to this embodiment of life on earth. Not take her for granted, Mother Earth. Receive her beauty. Celebrate that beauty that is there before it's gone. Take it in, receive it, receive this energy and generate from that our own energy, just like Mother Earth does. Just renew ourselves. And make it a practice, you know, got to practice to do that. And they, you know, they talk about the smile. Thich Nhat Hanh's little mindfulness poem with the meditation, breathing in, I calm body and mind. Breathing out, I smile. And then it goes on, dwelling in the present moment, I know this is the only moment. But that smile is what we're talking about. And the smile, they say, you know, smiling relaxes all the muscles in your face. And so even if we don't feel like smiling, when we go down to sit down to practice, we can actually try on a little smile. Just try it on. You don't have to make a big deal, but just try on that smile and notice how, like all the Buddha statues, there's like a little smile there. And that's that feeling that is the energy that we want to harness to do this work of transformation and awakening. There's more, but I'll leave it there for now and invite you now to join me in the practice. Sit, walk, sit. And when you remember, as we're practicing together today, to smile, do it. Just do it. And see how it feels, how it changes the energy, how it contributes to a kind of relief and release. And then, you know, take another step. And as you're breathing and walking, notice, maybe stop and notice the light coming into the room or the flowers that you or someone else in your home set out, or a gift somebody gave you that's there, a piece of art, you know, and like, just see it for what it is. Take it in. Come back to your cushion. Smile to yourself for being here. and take the support of the group to transform those, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, all those unskillful seeds, like weeding. Am I making sense? Am I getting through? Yeah. Thank you. It's a joy to be here. It's a joy. It's such a joy that I could cry, right? Yeah. So let's nourish that and not forget it for 1 minute.